Today is Judgment Day, where we will be revealing our top 5 worst transfers of 2025. Tom and Raheem have their top 5 picks and their arguments ready, and I'm going to decide who made the best argument. You guys ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Judgment Day is a bit dramatic.
It's a bit dramatic, but
it's like football doesn't matter that much.
when we're talking about Isak and all those guys that spent $100 million on for 0012 at this point. Yeah.
How is it 0012?
I
That
don't know.
implies that he's played over 1,000 games.
All right, our 5th worst transfer of 2025. Tom, you're up first. Who are you making the argument for?
Well, you know, Xavi Simons. And because the thing is, mate, I've now become a stats merchant. Remember all the times on this show where I've been like, oh, stats don't matter, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm all about stats because I've got to make an argument. Xavi Simons has played 10 games for Tottenham, 0 goals, 1 assist. We all thought that he'd come into the league and maybe be this impact player who could at least go, 20 goal contributions in all competitions? Can we agree
you
on
would
that?
hope.
And he's just not hit the mark. I think the problem with Xavi Simons,
succulent Chinese
Sean Connery is worried about Xavi Simons. He's too short for the Premier League. He's too short. He isn't physical enough, gets pushed around, and believe me, I know a lot about being short. So no, I don't rate
Short
it.
King Union
Yeah,
over
they
here.
spent a lot of money, and it hasn't quite worked out.
Florian Wirtz, my guy. You come in as one of the highly touted talents in the league with the highest fee, and we still haven't really seen anything from him, bro. I saw a little stuff from him from the West Ham game, a little outside of the boot pass on the Isak goal, but it's like when you paying that much bread, bro, how hard it is to also get that money for a club, you're expecting production, you're expecting results. And for me, Wirtz just hasn't really been creating like that as much as we thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be more of a goal-scoring threat. He doesn't really offer that. He can't really take a man on 1v1 like that and take him for pace. So then I get to a point where I'm like, man, what is this guy offering on the pitch?
Yeah.
So you know when people just say words, Corbin?
Well,
they just say
from
words.
From the Liverpool fan. Let's ask a Liverpool fan. Are you happy? Are you happy with the production you've seen from Florian Wirtz?
Immediately, no, obviously, but he's 22 years old, bro.
So
He's 22. He's 22 years
Oh,
old.
he's doing
Look, he's 22 years old.
No,
He's 22 years old, and we've already cocked up the system. Give the boy time. He will be sick by the end of the season.
Tom, I hear your argument, but for a guy you spent $133 million on, you need to have more production. Sorry. Raheem, I'll give you that one. Hey,
Okay.
point for Raheem. Point for Raheem.
Such a boon. Florian Wirtz hasn't been good.
All right, so
Cringe.
Raheem, you go first on this one. Your 4th worst transfer of 2025. Who do we got?
this exactly goes to my reason that I believe that young English talents should not transfer to Man City. We saw with Calvin Phillips. We're now seeing with James Trafford. We had someone who we're looking at as England's #1 potential choice goalkeeper. Goes to Man City weeks before the season starts. Not even weeks, actually. A couple of days probably before the season starts. Guardiola says, you know what? I'm bored. I'm going to go buy Gigi Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Cooked. Your entire future with the England national team cooked. Your entire future with your club absolutely cooked. And it just makes me think, man, for these English talents who look at Man City as an avenue or as a place to go on and become successful and develop, other than John Stones, who transferred in there, I don't really see many English talents getting that opportunity under Guardiola. And James Trafford, to go to a club where you're not going to play and you're expected to be England's #1, that doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
So I disagree with that, right? Because I thought that, and I'm going to make my point because it's better. But I think Gigi Donnarumma, he didn't make it clear that he wanted out of PSG until the last moment. And if Gigi Donnarumma's on the market, you go and get him. It doesn't matter who you have in goal. James Trafford had a couple of bad games. He's still young. He was a Man City Academy product, right?
Yes, correct.
So he's been there. Pep thought he was that guy. But the thing is that he's like, okay, no, now we've got to play long balls to Erling Haaland and we just need a shot-stopping beast. Donnarumma was there on the cheap. It makes sense. I don't think it's a great signing, but I don't think it's as horrific as everyone said. Now, onto my argument. Jonathan David went from... Well, he was at Lille, didn't he?
Lille.
And he had the choice. He could have had his pick. He was linked with Liverpool. He was linked with Arsenal. Why does he go to Juventus?
I don't think those clubs in England...
Yeah, but why does he go to Juventus, a club that is allergic to scoring and also has Dusan Vlahovic? It makes no sense to me. He picked the wrong club under the wrong manager at the wrong time.
I would say this, though. There were always rumors about Jonathan David being this elite striker and going to a major Premier League club. But I don't think Premier League clubs really were that interested in Jonathan David, because if they were, he wouldn't have spent that long in France.
Do you know what Jesse Marsh said about Jonathan David?
What did he say?
He's the best striker he's ever coached. Do you know who else Jesse Marsh coached?
Who else?
Erling Haaland.
Yeah, I don't know about that, buddy. I think he's just trying to give his confidence to his Canada team. You know what I'm saying? He must have forgot who he coached, bro.
Jacob Schaffelberg is the best player I have ever seen in my own two
friend
eyes.
of goal. He liked my hair, Jeff Schaffelberg.
Nah, he is
Jacob
cool.
Schaffelberg. Nice lad.
Cool.
I'm
Top lad.
with Schaffelberg. All right, I got to give this one to Tom here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See
Nah,
what
Raheem,
I did? I nullified my opposite argument and then made a better
Nah,
one.
you didn't really nullify anything, really, because bro still went to a club and he's not catching any
Now,
minutes.
Raheem, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. Like, why would you go to a club where you're not playing?
I think he thought he was going to play.
Exactly. That's my point.
From
Why
a-
are you going to sell? That's like you coming to go expecting to write articles. All of a sudden, they're like, actually, you're not doing that no more. A week in, we got someone else to take your job.
Tom, your third worst transfer of 2025. Who is
Okay,
it?
you guys could have seen this one coming. Trent Alexander-Arnold. What made no sense to me, other than the saltiness of why he left, was the fact that Danny Carvajal is probably, at today, a better right back for Real Madrid, right? I think Trent always kind of wanted to go to, like, because it's Real Madrid, right? Play with Jude Bellingham, experience something new. He said all of these things. But, like, he also said that he wanted to go to Real Madrid to win the Ballon d'Or. How are you going to win the Ballon d'Or at Real Madrid? With Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., I mean, Jude Bellingham, more likely. Three players on that team more likely to win the Ballon d'Or than you. And then you've got Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Dembele, like, all the, like, it was baffling to me then, and it looks even worse now. And look, he's there for the long term, but the early signs, man, they're not good.
Dang, my third is actually going to be a surprising one. It's going to be Liam Delap.
That's interesting.
Liam Delap came into Chelsea. First of all, I don't even understand why Chelsea really even signed him when they had Nicholas Jackson and they also had Joao Pedro, in my opinion. Like, I honestly think that Nicholas Jackson should have stayed and it would have been better for all parties involved.
Yeah.
More than Liam Delap, though, I just don't think Liam Delap was ready for a move this big. Hold up plays there, but it's like the decision making has a lot to be desired. And also for a guy like Liam, like going from Ipswich Town, you had a team on your back, you know, but they're a relegation side. I would expect him to go to a team like Newcastle or a Villa for him to really develop. I feel like that move just comes a little bit too quick, and I don't even think he's gonna get the playing time enough for him to develop at Chelsea. Because we talk about these young players coming into Chelsea and finding their rhythm and being able to progress and play. But it's like, if you're not going to get on the pitch, if Joao Pedro's first choice, you're kind of left in the cold, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what made
that's a good
total
point.
sense to me for Delap? Like a Brentford.
Brentford, yeah.
Like a
Right.
Brentford, I mean, Villa was screwed financially, but and Ipswich wanted immediate money, and Villa, PSL, yada, yada, yada. But like Brentford, Newcastle, like, I mean, obviously there are levels between those two teams, but they both seem to make much more sense. But yeah, nah, man, it was a weird one. But I mean, dude, I don't know. Chelsea, they create so many chances that I feel like the lap could just catch fire at some point.
I hear both your arguments. I'm gonna give it to Raheem on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to Raheem on this one. Tom,
Shocker.
you know what? Trent maybe hasn't made the impact that he wanted, but between the injury, you know, it's tough to play
Coward.
with that. Tom, your second worst transfer of 2025 is
Yunus Musa. And here's my thing. In a World Cup year, it's so important that you make the right move, right? Because, like, as much as we talk about, like, oh, yeah, long-term fits, whatever, players want to play in the World Cup. If you'd asked me a year ago, Yunus Musa's in my starting three in the midfield at the World Cup, no question.
It was McKennie, Adams, and Musa.
He's probably ahead of McKennie in that, like, in that ranking. Tyler Adams, US GOAT, love him. But, like, he's somehow now played himself out of the team. Like, he wanted to leave Milan, fine, we accept that, right? You could have gone anywhere, but why would you go to Atalanta, where number one, they don't play with like centre mids of your type, and number two, they don't want to use you as a wing back anyway. So it just made no sense. And look, man, like, he's a really good footballer, but like, he just seems like he's running in place, and Atalanta made absolutely zero sense.
I'd arguably say, like, in football, the move is everything, bro.
Yeah, man.
The move, where you go, is the most essential. More than the talent, more than anything you could produce on the pitch, is the club that you go to. Because if you go to a club that really has no plan for you and you expect to go there and play, and the manager is on a different time, let's say you lose the first 3 or 4 games, things get shaken up a little bit, you're out of there due to tactical reasons, you're out of there due to whatever reasons that the team isn't going to be winning, it could affect you more than even just being able to play just off of bad ability. Like, think about it. If a club brings you in and you don't fit their tactic for whatever reason, you don't fit whatever they're going to be playing, you're going to be an odd man out regardless of ability. So
and then everyone else thinks you're trash, and you're not going to get a big move after that.
And then you end up on a podcast where 3 people say like, this guy was
Exactly. And what is even worse about this year is, like, these moves that you make could affect you not playing in a World Cup. And that doesn't happen every year. And I think that's what's even worse for a guy like Yunus Musa. It's not the fact that he's not playing, it's the fact that he's not playing in a World Cup year.
Raheem, your second worst player of 2025 is?
My second worst transfer of 2025 is Yoana Wissa. Newcastle, why do you buy a striker and he comes in and he's already hurt?
They bought used.
They bought damaged goods, my boy.
They bought pre-owned.
I think the worst,
Certified refurbished on Amazon.
the best thing in football is availability. You buy a striker who we won't even see play until January, bro. And even then, Congo is about to go to AFCON. They're about to go to the World Cup qualifying. He'll barely.
So he's gonna miss. Yeah, he can miss time for that.
Yoana Wissa will miss basically the entire season for Newcastle. And they spent 45+ million on him. That's crazy.
45 mil for someone who's not gonna see the field for a long time. That's pretty wild.
And I know they have Nick Woltemade, who's been doing his thing and performing well. But if Nick Woltemade goes down, Newcastle's already short on attacking talent in terms of number 9 spot because they got rid of Callum Wilson. So for me, it's like, Yoana Wissa, man. Damn, bro. Going to a club. I actually feel bad for Newcastle in this way because you never know what's going to happen with players when they go to a club. But to have a striker, you pay that much money for him and you're not going to see any results from him until next year. That's a little insane, my boy. That's a crazy investment. He got to bag 10 in his first 5.
Yeah.
That is bag 10 in his first 5
is crazy.
Why doesn't he set the Premier League goal scoring record?
I need to see 38 goals from him next year, or else he's a flop.
I need 38 goals between May and June, or else it doesn't matter that transfer. Nah, for real though, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, it was a confusing one.
Listen, I like both your arguments, but you guys made really good picks there. I'm gonna give it to Tom on this one. I think that Yunus Musa, unfortunately, between him and his agent, whoever else was involved in that deal and that move, they just did not do him right. All right, Raheem, your last and final pick for your worst transfer of 2025 is?
Nicholas Jackson, man. That video.
Bro, that's your worst?
Yes, bro. Think about it. Nicholas Jackson, that move was a terrible move for all involved, and I'll tell you why. Bayern Munich, they bought Nicholas Jackson thinking he was going to be a backup to Harry Kane. Maybe he needs some breaks. Harry Kane don't need no damn breaks in the Bundesliga. It's the Bundesliga, bro. What kind of breaks does he need? Nicholas Jackson has caught no tick. He's caught garbage minutes every game. Going from Chelsea starting number 9 last year to getting garbage minutes as Harry Kane's backup. I think that's a terrible move. Also considering Chelsea had striker problems, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Joao Pedro was hurt. Even Liam Delap was hurt for a little bit. Nicholas Jackson would have still been the number 9 if he had stayed. And the worst part about it is that his agent put so much emphasis on him leaving the club. There was videos of him at Bayern Munich saying that he's not flying back to London. Yeah. And if you really think about it, I'm watching Nicholas Jackson warm up for the Senegal national team, not even starting for them. And I'm like, bro, you kind of took a step back, in my opinion. Going from Chelsea's number 9 starting for Senegal to now a backup at Bayern Munich, a backup for your own country when AFCON and the World Cup's coming up. I just don't see success in that move for either club or for Nicholas Jackson.
I'm telling you, bro, it's that Calvin Phillips effect. You go to where you perceive there's more prestige and better chance that you winning a big trophy, and you're slotted behind somebody, you're not starting, you're not playing a lot of minutes, and it just destroys your career.
I mean, he's going to win the Bundesliga, isn't he? But I don't know if that much...
Calvin Phillips won the league with City, and what did he contribute to that?
Yeah, nothing.
Extinct fam.
Yeah.
For me, come on, Alexander Isak. And as much as it hurts as a Liverpool fan, oh my God. Like...
Tell us your pain, bro.
Painful. So, look, after you signed Hugo Ekitike, friend of goal, who is a quality number 9, why'd you go out and sign Isak as well? Get a backup. Get an Ekitike level player. Get a Darwin Nunez level player.
Bring Nicholas Jackson in, man. Come on.
Honestly. But like, oh my God. So Isak shows up. He's not fit. He's out of form. He's just, and then there's this expectation, given the transfer fee, that he should score 30 goals in a season. The first issue with that, Alexander Isak's never played more than like 29 games in a Premier League season. The second thing is, he's not fit. He's not fit, and there is way too much pressure. I was just like, oh God, unless he scored, before this happened, I was like, unless he scores 25, this is gonna look really bad. And like, as of today's recording, he scored 1. And it's like, dude, he'll come good. He will come good, but man, it's a lot of money.
I'll tell you this, bro. If I'm Hugo Ekitike, I'm mad, bro.
Yeah, they brought you in just to bring in the guy who's supposed to supersede you like a month after.
I'm so mad because it's like, it's kind of like you're selling a false dream. And we talked about this with the city, with James Trafford too. I feel like there's certain players that definitely get the short end of the stick when it comes to coming into club a little bit too early into the window. Like, it's almost like, does it actually benefit a player more to leave maybe a week or two before the window ends, so you know more of like your positioning within the club? But then at the same time, you risk losing that preseason, right? Like with Isak. So don't get me wrong, Alexander Isak, fantastic footballer. Arguably, people were saying he was the best number 9 in world football at the moment. But what I just don't understand is, why do you sign a striker of Hugo Ekitike's quality? I don't even think they believed him to be that good, in my opinion. And I think that's the reason why they bought Isak, because if they thought Ekitike could lead the line, I don't think they're buying him.
Why do you sign Isak?
Well, I think it's funny because in order to compete in the Premier League and Champions League and whatever, you need 2 class players at every position. We can agree on that, right? But like, that's like 2 few players with Isak and Ekitike.
That's world class.
Yeah, it didn't make much sense then, and I'm like kind of worrying if it makes much sense now.
Tom, you're my winner for this round and my winner for the day.
Let's go!
I think that's a great argument. And if you spend that much money on someone, you need to see material returns, in this case goals, and you don't get it, and so it's a failure so far.